part 2 of the behind the scenes tour. Okay.
Straight in.
Okay.
Come on in. All the way to that red line and all the way down to the end.
Say that again.
All the way up to that red line and all the way to the end.
Okay.
I like your hat.
Appreciate it.
Come on in, everybody. Welcome. Good afternoon.
This is beautiful.
All the way up to that red line for me.
Baby.
We have to turn the lights.
You have to watch the cord.
There you go. Come on all the way up to this red line for me.
I'm sorry,
It's
excuse me.
easier than paid when I can see your face. How was the last day?
It was.
Super fun?
I just wish they'd have let me act. That's my thing, man. I love acting. That's my thing.
You make a good gangster there, huh? If you got people, be a good gangster right there.
Sound? Okay, did you like it? All this shortage of sound here, so if you like it, it's a good
Maybe
spot
that'd
to
be for a change, because it seemed like every play that I was in, I've always played a cop. People always say, hey, you a cop? No, I'm not a freaking cop. Freak, what?
That's a cool game
I would have
too.
guessed that
Like,
too.
the
I'm
whole
just saying.
I'm not a freaking cop.
Everybody says
camera
that.
operator is easy.
Either cop or military.
The way you're dressed now, you look like you could run a casino.
Spend the
Yeah.
most fun. You can travel all over the planet. You shoot all kinds
GTA.
Six.
Seriously, Grand Theft Auto?
of- Hey, Dave, you stick your head out the
Actually, I'm a bounty hunter, but I'm not a cop. See, a lot of people don't know the difference. I bounty hunt for a living. That's what I do for a living. We're not cops.
What else? There's more positions tonight, right? Who else got to do something cool? Makeup artist, nice. That's a really cool job too. So we have cool makeup women on campus. Where you learn special effects makeup and stuff like that. Really cool class. That got everybody? Yeah. All right, I got a thumbs up. I'm gonna turn my lights on so you can see what I look like. It's not pretty, but that's all I got. All right, welcome everyone to
set up
Studio
right
My name is Kyle Fraser. I'm the studio manager here. This is Full Sail's virtual production stage. How many of you guys are familiar with virtual production? A couple of you guys, okay. But we've seen The Mandalorian, House of the Dragons, The Avengers.
Yep.
Okay, so, what's that? Yeah. One of our grads, Steve Barris, he's also on our Hall of Fame, is a big contributor on that. He works at HBO, does a lot of tech stuff like this. So virtual production, what is
You
it?
okay?
So the easiest way I can explain it is virtual production
this
is
is
a way
my
to
wife.
have a window
I'm
into a
sorry.
virtual
I did
world.
not even do
So
this.
as opposed to traveling to Spain, who would like to shoot a cool cathedral like this, we bring the cool cathedral to us.
This is my
So we're
wife.
able to create this inside of some software, and we're able to make it look like we're actually in this space. So as my friend starts to dolly here, if you look at this monitor over on your left, you're gonna see that everything in the background moves and interacts like it would if it actually existed. So we see around the pillars, we see the parallaxing of the staircase, and the banisters, the statues. Everything moves in the background like we're actually there. And the way we do that is basically we use our camera like a video game controller when we're playing a first-person game, and we're working our way through the environment. So if you look up at the ceiling, there's a bunch of little white dots. Our camera knows where all those white dots are, and moves our camera that you can see over on the right screen inside the virtual environment. So as they move this camera, you're gonna see the camera moving around inside that virtual environment, and that's how we're able to create this look that you're seeing behind me. So it's really immersive. It's a really great way to make it a cool project, and we can be anywhere we want to be. If you want to be on Mars, we can do that. If you want to be in a cool cathedral, we can do that. If you want to be somewhere completely unthinkable, we can do all of those things. So it's really unending the things that we can do. So aside from the camera tracking portion, we have to use some software. It's called Unreal Engine. How many of you guys are familiar with Fortnite? Yeah, right. So it's the same software that they use to make Fortnite. It's the same software we're using in here.
In fact, I'm playing
cool
Fortnite right
software,
now.
Totally free if you want to go home and mess around with it. You can do some really cool little short films and stuff like that in there. But it's the same software. So if we're using this as one of our sticks in the game, the other stick will be the end display or the 2-scale replica that you see of our wall inside the game environment. So if we need to move somewhere inside the game environment, instead of it being the real world where we pack all the lights, pack up the dolly and everything, I just asked Dave on to move us to the top of the stairs. He's gonna grab that in display and he's going to quickly move us to the top of the stairs. So no moving the dolly, no moving the lights, no moving your crew. We move the world around us. So it's a really interesting way to kind of do the shoot. The advantages of the game engine don't stop there. Because everything is rendered in real time, we can make changes in real time as well. So let's say we're sick of the statue over my left shoulder, we want it to go away. Devon in the back there can just make it go away. Or if we want it to come out and wave hello, it can come on out and it can wave hello to you guys. We can do anything it is that we want to do as long as we don't mesh everything together. You know, if that statue was attached to its pedestal, we'd have to do the statue and the pedestal at the same time. So we just have to think about the things we want to do ahead of time. Now, when you're over on the other soundstage, you got to see how those things were lit, right? There's a bunch of lights on the ground. Whoever the DP was got to talk with the camera operator, the lighting people to make sure everything's lit right. And here you're gonna notice we don't have nearly as many lights, but we're still just as bright. And that's because our LED wall is outputting a lot of light onto me. So we use that to our advantage. The ceiling is the same exact LED panels that we have on the side. It's 16 foot by 16 foot, so a nice big size. You can make a nice big solid light out of it. If you watch the monitor over on your left, as I turn that light off, you're gonna see how much light it's giving to the space and how much it's lighting me. So it's a great way for us to get a base lighting for our town. Now, the cool thing is that we can change that as well. So let's say I wanted to do some side lighting. I can just grab the light
She reminds me of my
and
son.
turn it on over here, and I can get a nice light on me to the side. Or we can do other changes as well. So if we wanted it to say, I don't know, be
So
bright
you're
red,
gonna-
I can make it bright red. And I can do all of this in real time. I mean, it's a little hard to see out here,
focus
but I
on
have
business.
a whole screen in here that's just the screen behind me. And I can do whatever I want to. So I can do a lot of really, really cool changes very, very quickly without the need for a ton of people to come in and make those changes. Now, when we're shooting in here, as long as we plan for things ahead of time, we can do some really cool stuff. One of the great benefits of this, again, is we can move the world around. So we were doing a Star Wars fan film, and we had to do 12 different locations and only had 2 days to do it. We were able to do it because if we plan ahead, we can make those changes instantaneously. So if I want to go inside, I just say, hey, Dave, it's time to go outside. And he switches us to outside. And it's as fast as that. And then you're like, well, but the lighting was for inside. Again, as long as we pre-plan it, I can push a button on my iPad, I can change my light to be fire over there in the back, I can do some fire effects on these lights, make it look like we're actually in the space with fire. So we do some really, really cool effects very, very quickly, as long as we know what those need to be and do your pre-production. Now, the last thing I'm gonna talk about before I kind of talk about how the stage is used a little bit is animation. So normally, you know, if you're shooting something on green screen, everyone's looking at a tennis ball or playing make believe, and everyone's just kind of guessing what it's gonna look like until it gets to post. Again, here we try to do everything in real time, ahead of time. So instead of saying everyone can pretend like there's a dragon attacking the city, I just have to say, Bob, to have a dragon come in and attack the city, and we have a dragon come in and attack the city, right? So we can do lots of cool stuff in here, and we don't have to worry about it. We've had ghosts on the screen, we've had, you know, Mario characters, all kinds of just really fun, interesting things that we can do in real time. Now, the stage serves two purposes. One is for our students. Our film students are able to pitch a project to shoot in here. We have them team up with students from game art and computer animation to create the environment that they need for their project. And then they come in here and they shoot it. And then the other thing is we are an outward-facing production facility as well. And what I mean by that is we allow outside companies to come in and contract us, and we'll let them shoot their projects in here. We recently did a commercial for a company called Redcon One out of Miami, who works with Hostess to make Twinkie flavored protein powder. I know it sounds disgusting, but we got to make a really cool Twinkie world with milk waterfalls, all kinds of really just fun stuff that you couldn't do in the real world, right? We also work with Universal Studios and Coca-Cola, and we have worked with WWE, and that project is one of the ones we're most proud of. As we had 2 TV shows that we shot for WWE in here that are currently airing on Netflix. And up until our last grad graduated last October, we had students that were still in school here with credits on a Netflix TV show, which is just super cool. We recently worked with the Orlando Pride, doing their kit reveal for their new season's jerseys, and some of the students on that were already contacted by that production company to try and help them out on other productions. So we're always doing just really, really cool stuff in here and giving students a chance to kind of work alongside industry professionals and hopefully build that resume up before they move on to career passion. Does anyone have any questions? If not, I'm gonna turn you back over to Carrie, so you can take your next spot. Things to look out for when you go to the dub stage. If you see some dogs flying a spaceship, that was shot in here, so you can see some of the stuff we did. All right.
Wow.
Thank you guys.
Beautiful. Appreciate it. Good. Man, this is beautiful. I love it. It's good stuff.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Nice meeting you. Yeah, right.
Keep walking a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to start working. I'm gonna get all my affairs together so I can leave. Hey, man, better. Got a couple of more. Couple of more. We getting back on the bus?
Yeah.
Okay. That was what would you say?
That was the green one.
I've graduated from here twice, and I've never known all this. Never. Ma'am?
Bachelor's in music production and master's in entertainment business.
And I'm gonna get my second master's in film. So I'll be starting this year.
So, film masters. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be like Christ. That's who I want to be like.
Of course.
I'm trying. I'm trying every day. God knows I'm trying. But I want to be a producer. Though. I want to be a producer.
Yes. And you are going further and back.
You heard her?
Huh?
She said you are a producer.
Thank you, ma'am. Be careful. Yeah. Excuse me. You good? Mm-hmm. All right. Pause. Just filming. See, they're not giving me. So, Jesus will. How you doing?
We're gonna have a seat down in the theater seats. There we go. Railing right there if you need.
I want to sit up front.
Okay.
Yes. You okay?
Plenty of open seats right over here.
My knee just popped.
Hey, welcome everybody. My name. Sorry, nobody jumped up at me today to give me a high five. So anyway, my name's Dave Camella. I'm the manager of the space here. We call this a dub stage. Okay, so where we're going to mix the soundtrack for a film. Our film programs are making films every month. Those films come through us. We kind of oversee, consult on their soundtrack, what sounds to put in, how to mix them together. All right. So to kind of show off today about that, we are going to be looking into is actually an outside project that we worked on. We do a number of outside feature films as well. So what we want to do today is show you what a movie looks like when it first comes to the audio room. Okay, and then we're going to talk about what we do to fix it up, and then we'll play you the final product. Okay, So a little bit about the movie we're going to watch. We are going to be watching a clip from a movie called Space Pups. Pay attention. Space Pups.
Why?
Because it's a good movie. It's a good movie. So this is the virtual stage that you had visited earlier in your tour. They actually shot a bunch of the scenes in the movie there. Okay, so what you see here is our staff and our students that are working with the filmmakers on getting the shots that they needed for this. And once they finished doing all that, they edited everything, and then they were able to bring it over here to do the sound work for it. Okay, so it was a nice collaboration between an outside client and our students getting to see how a real project was being worked on. Okay. So, you see little puppies there. You see a little puppy? You see a puppy. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to watch a clip from the movie first. Okay. Actually, I should tell you about the movie a little bit more about that. So Space Pups is aliens who come down to Earth because they lost some parts in their spaceship, and they decide to go out into public, but they realize they can't be as aliens, so they turn into dogs. Okay, common story, I know, but they don't realize that dogs don't talk on Earth, and so they get found out by some kids, and the kids help them to get off the planet. Okay, so good family movie. All right, so what we're going to do is watch a scene from it. The scene is, you're going to see it's an early version of the scene, so you might see some things missing and stuff like that. But we'll talk about that after we see, but you'll also get a chance to hear what it sounds like when we get it. All right, so let's take a listen to Space Pups.
Is everything ready, Hex?
Yes, Captain. We have installed all the parts that have been found.
Okay, what's next? Commencing hover test now. Hover test? Initiating hover mode.
It's so quiet.
That's because it's riding electromagnetic waves.
Well, thanks to you, our hover systems are back online.
So you can go home now?
No, it's enough for us to move the ship, but not enough to leave the planet's atmosphere.
But it's a start.
Stop, Dad. We have to go. Bye, computer.
Bye, computer.
Nice meeting you, Sam and Cassie. We really appreciate your help today.
Okay, so not very exciting. Okay, we are missing things, but this is typical of what we have to start with. Okay, we have to get going on it. Picture will eventually show up. The visual effects will show up. So we have three main things that we have to deal with on a soundtrack. You have dialogue, which is all the content, your story. Okay, sound effects, which is going to be the realism that's behind every scene. Okay, and then score, which is going to be the emotional element. All right, so now for dialogue in this, we have the kids talking, but while they were doing these scenes, spoiler alert, dogs were not talking, so we had to have the director yell the lines out. So that's why you might have heard people in the background. Okay, so we have to get rid of the director. The dogs' lines were recorded in a studio afterwards, so they were added in the edit. But we also have to bring up the levels, okay? So it's not as loud as we need it to be theatrically. All right, sound effects. We have to make the sound of spaceships, okay? How are we going to do this? We're going to talk with the director. What kind of spaceships are we talking about, okay? Example, Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever it might be. But we're going to kind of put together is like a few different ways of like how a spaceship could be propelled. Okay, could be synthesizers. It could be using libraries of pre-recorded things. We could go out and record some things that we could then sub in for the spaceships. Different things, doors, all those little things. We're also going to do something called Foley. All right, so Foley is the process of re-recording all of the movements and footsteps of every character in the movie. Okay, because on a movie set, we're trying to get the voice of the characters, not their footsteps. So we need to have all that re-recorded, okay? For this movie, we had a team of 8 students that recorded about 3,000 Foley cues for the movie. So then that way, when we were mixing, we always had a footstep or some kind of a movement available to us. All right. It took them 2 weeks. Everybody rotating in and stuff like that. Music done by a composer out in Los Angeles. So they would send us pieces of music as they would be finishing them off. Okay, so this is a lot of sound that we're talking about here, okay? So that big console you saw when you walked in here, we're gonna spread out everything on the console, okay? And we're gonna go scene by scene and just play every scene down and start balancing, you know, getting the level right on how loud it should be, but then how should everything else sound in the scene, okay? So you're taking a very ridiculous premise and you have to make it sound like it's naturally happening, all right? Dogs who are aliens are talking to kids on a spaceship. It's normal, right? You have to make it all sound very normal, all right? So we're gonna put that all together. We're gonna decide where everything plays in the movie theater, all right? And so what you're gonna see next is updated picture with the final soundtrack, all right? Stay with me.
Is everything ready, Hex?
Yes, Captain. We have installed all the parts that have been found.
Okay, what's next? Commencing hover test now. Hover test? Initiating hover mode.
It's so quiet.
That's because it's riding electromagnetic waves.
Well, thanks to you, our hover systems are back online.
So you can go home now?
No, it's enough for us to move the ship, but not enough to leave the planet's atmosphere.
But it's a start.
Stop it, Dad. We have to go. Bye, computer.
Bye, computer.
Nice meeting you, Sam and Cassie. We really appreciate your help today.
And we have a movie. All right. So this whole process, what we do to put the soundtrack together is what we teach our students to do with their soundtrack to their films. Okay. Go to any kind of student movie festival or you know, short film festival, the worst thing about it all will be the soundtrack. So we really want our soundtracks to be the best. So our process, like we said, this is an independent film that came from an outside person. It's the exact same process that we do. All right. So cool. I want to thank everybody for stopping by the Dub Stage today. If you follow your tour guide on out, they'll take you to your next destination. All right. Thank you very much. And I'm waiting for the high five.
Who's like it?
From Sam.
Yes.
Sam.
From Sam.
Okay.
Got it.
I got it. Thank you.
I got my first job in the studio.
Yeah. If you put all your weight on one, you'll be all right. Just put all your weight.
I'm taking it easy because it's my left knee.
That's what I'm saying. You put all your weight on your right leg.
I am.
We're about to do it. All you non-believers. Yeah.
theme park.
Yeah.
I don't see his straight either.
That's right.
Although when I was a student here, like 31 years ago, I had to teach that. He was a great teacher.
You good? Alright, this is what we got here. So what
All right, we'll start here in a couple of seconds. We're just flipping rooms between the two groups right now. There he is. Back for more, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's
Take
you guys.
you away.
Hello,
How you doing?
welcome back. Or you've always been here. I mean, with me, I was gone. I was with the other group. We've been reunited, so awesome. Did you guys have fun on
Yes,
your
sir.
workshop?
Yes, sir.
Great, excellent. So you explored production, virtual production stage, modern, traditional production in your workshop. You've seen the dub stage as well. And now we've made it here to our last part of the post-production phase to talk more about what we do aside from sound. We saw how critical sound is to have that immersive support to the visuals, but we also got a glimpse of how important visual effects can be these days as well, because without them we're kind of missing a lot there, right? Whether it's spaceships or dog lips or whatever. Cool. So we've come here to our welcome center. That's what this is called. So I get to welcome you to the welcome center. That's fun enough, just because it sounds fun. But here in our welcome center, we have this lovely display of our Launchbox initiative, which you may remember from your orientation, or if you've been diving into any of our literature. We have a technology package, essentially, for each of our degree programs, and it's called Launchbox. And for film, the heart of that technology package is a MacBook laptop that has software on it supportive of your degree. Everything that we do effectively starts with a story. Someone needs to write a story or a script, and that involves some specific software. So in the Launchbox package, we have Final Draft, which is an industry standard software for formatting scripts, and you'll learn how to format scripts and write scripts and create treatments and story development and character arcs and all that in our script writing techniques course, one of the first that you'll have. Then also in the software package is Movie Magic, scheduling and budgeting, which is really used for all of the phases because we have to budget and schedule our production and post-production. We can't forget to save money for post or we can't finish the film. So Movie Magic, scheduling and budgeting. We have Avid Media Composer, industry standard for editing and post. And in support of that, we also have a suite of applications from Adobe, the Creative Cloud, which includes Premiere and After Effects, Photoshop, Illustrator, Audition, and more. So that's kind of the meat there of that Launchbox, essentially giving you like a little mini studio in your backpack. And so we've come here at the Welcome Center. We've got our software loaded up so that we can demo for you what some of our Launchbox software can do, thanks to the help of our longtime lab specialist, Mr. Dave Baldwin. Dave, what you have?
Thank you, Jeff. I have the Underwater Family. So it's from an actual commercial of a family is having a meal underwater. It was filmed underwater. They have air tanks below the table there to breathe in between the film takes. But they want to add a family dog in there to the picture, and that didn't work well with the underwater part. So the solution was a blue screen shot. Real nice job of lighting here. You can see the reflections on the back of the dog. And the guy in the picture is a trainer making the dog react like he's reacting to the father in the scene. So let me go ahead and throw that on down to the timeline. Next I'll look for the alpha channel dog, which is kind of like a stencil that'll cut him out. There we go. And you can see that's prepared there with a little bit of shadow underneath him for some realism. And we'll throw that down to the timeline. And then we'll add the matte key effect, and it's all done, no rendering needed. There's our dog safely underwater.
We got a dog theme going on today. There's a lot of pups.
So everything I was talking about, alpha channel, LumaKey, all that stuff is what you go over in lecture about theories. And then when I be coming here to do the running the system and the editing. Very good. Let's go on to something a little bit different. We got a blue VW up here somewhere. There it is. This one we got from England. I know that because the driver is on the wrong side of the car there. So let's say it was Tom Cruise in the car and just finished this big film in England.
Top bug.
Yeah, and they came back to the United States after the shooting and they found out, hey, we used a different color car in other scenes. We had a continuity problem. A couple things we could do. We could have Tom Cruise crew fly back to England.
No, that could break the budget.
Okay.
So what can we do?
We'll fix it in post, as they say. So I've entered the Symphony color correction, and we have a whole bunch of graphs. We have all kinds of buttons you have to learn. And I will use the syringe tool right now to get 1 pixel of blue from the car. I'm going to switch to the eyedropper, which really is a totally different tool, and work on the darker sides of the car. I can change it to color I think Tom was driving.
It's a match. Perfect.
That's it right there. Then I can bring back the
Mary Kay
backgrounds. And there's a new color car. And we can charge them $1,000 for an hour's work.
Yes, indeed. A lot cheaper than a company move, but you save the day.
Yeah, it's like a snack money for Tom. So any questions on anything there?
I love David.
Cool.
So,
Great software.
it is. It was one of the first digital nonlinear editors out there. So it's well established in the industry, and it functions at its peak in really collaborative environments because it interfaces really well with Pro Tools, like over on the dub stage, because the same company have it. And then it also works in large enterprise environments really well, where you have multiple editors working with stuff. We have an Avid storage solution that provides terabytes and terabytes and hundreds of terabytes of footage or of storage space that is fiber optically connected to all these different studios, and that's all thanks to Avid being able to power multiple editing systems and share footage simultaneously. So you could have, well, an example in our lab, we have 18 editing stations, and they can all hit play on the same piece of footage at the same time, and they're all going to play in real time without any stuttering, thanks to that large backbone and storage system.
We've been teaching it here since '96 too.
That's correct.
So
Yeah, I was one of
30
the first
years
students to
now.
learn it, in fact. Yeah, I think both of us.
Yes.
Not quite 30.
So, yeah, soon enough. Soon enough.
29.
Yep. We are getting there.
Really?
Almost.
Yeah.
So with Avid and Media Composer and Premiere, all a part of our post-production curriculum that we're teaching our students. And with that curriculum, we're effectively preparing you for certification tests. So if you had a desire to get an additional credential before you leave us, along with your film degree, you could also be a certified editor in Media Composer and Premiere. If you're interested, I'm a certified instructor for Media Composer, and we can proctor the test for Adobe as well. It takes some extra study and some additional practice and some mentorship from the instructors, but it's definitely, if you're interested in post, we can give you a leg up with certification as well. Awesome. So that's just one piece of the puzzle, talking about post. We've seen a lot on tour today. And one of the themes that I hope you've maybe noticed, say with a crew on set or in a place like the virtual stage, is that filmmaking is very collaborative. It's the kind of thing you do face to face with a lot of people, with folks that have various different skill sets all coming together to make that happen. So when you come here for your film degree, we're gonna not just teach you one thing, say directing, or I want to be a cinematographer. That's great, and I love that goal. But I'm also going to teach you producing and writing, directing, we already mentioned, cinematography, so you're going to learn how to work with camera and lights. You'll learn sound, from production to post. You've got editing, as we've just seen, visual effects, color grading and color correction. And then you've got the whole production design side of things as well. And you have a lot of opportunity to be creative there, whether it's building the sets, or bringing together the props, wardrobe, makeup, all of those things. We're going to be teaching about all of that, a very holistic approach to the filmmaking process. So whichever path you find yourself on, or whichever goal you have set, not only will you know how to do your job, but you'll know how the folks around you need to work and how you can be supportive of them and how they support you together in a film crew. So thank you so much for coming out today and visiting Full Sail. We appreciate you considering us for your higher education needs. This effectively concludes what we would call the degree-specific part of your tour today. So we had orientation, came out with me on our degree tour, and now up next, we have our graduate panel. So we have some alumni who have come back, volunteered their time to talk about what we call life after Full Sail, that transition from having been a student to finding their path in their career. And that path is always a little different. No one path is the same as we embark on our lives. But we get to hear, it's something we do regularly here, is we invite our alumni back, whether it's for Hall of Fame or Homecoming Week or a weekend like this, where our alumni had time with our students on Friday, and now they're here to talk with you guys about what that kind of next step path looks like. Because we have challenges to get here, and how do we fund this? How do we do that? Well, how do we do that for the rest of our lives? So we'll hear from, for film, we have 1998 film graduate Ricky Castaneda with us, who's working in the writing side of film, who has written several projects for Hallmark, and I'm going to forget their other credits as well. So we'll hear from a little bit about what they've been up to, and you'll hear from the other graduates too. Even though they're in other degrees, it's always cool to hear how they've been successful as well. After the graduate panel, we have what's called the Info Fair, and I'm here to answer questions about curriculum or about film stuff. In the Info Fair, we have admissions, we have housing, we have financial aid standing by to help you with any questions that you have there. And hot tip, the Info Fair is in another film space. And I didn't take you there on tour today, I'm sorry. They're using it for something else, so it's not as interesting for me to tour you through that facility. But just remember, when you get to the Info Fair, you're in our broadcast production classroom. You'll see the fully working kitchen set, the news desk, the sports desk, the green screen we use for news and weather. There's a stage area in there that we often will set up as like a variety, daytime, nighttime talk show or something like that. But the goal of our broadcast production courses is one, to teach you the differences in broadcast and working with that equipment. There's teleprompter, graphics, lighting board, things are different in live TV. So we'll teach you how to use the stuff. And then in month 2, you'll spend time with your group, with your cohort, writing, directing, producing a half-hour live television show. And the execution of that live show is the final exam of the course. So, yeah, it is. It's amazing. So you're going to get to see, sort of in an ancillary way, our multi-camera television studio at the Info Fair. So just remember that. All right, so if you guys are ready, we're going to head on over to the Orlando Headquarters. Thanks again so much for joining us today. I'm happy to answer your questions along the way.
Baby. You're welcome. Moving again. Thanks again for joining us. The rest of your day, there's snacks coming too. If anybody's hungry. We got like donuts over there.
Follow that other bird.
Crazy. Yes.
Can you film something?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you. What's your knee?
Yeah, I got it on you.
No, I said, what about your knee?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. I already know my diaries.
Alumni panel. You get some water? Oh, some water. Thirsty, boss. You want some?
Thank you.
Here, honey, you want one?
Easy.
Want one?
Guess what?
Thank you.
Said thank you.
Good. You want one now?
I'm gonna fix one for me and my husband, but thank you.
Good.
Oh, that was good.
Is that good? It's water with lemons and limes and it's great.
Thank you. I love your hair.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's wrong. Just so damn you don't say that. Stay in the back. To the back. Can I just stand here? Okay.
We'll have cameras around right there.
So what's part of this?
Okay, so here, like I said, the alumni is coming. Basically told you about like after graduating Full Sail, if you got any questions or whatever. So it's basically like a person from the film degree will do what he's done after graduate, how Full Sail helped him. And like I said, they're here to answer any questions that you may have. And then after this is when you'll meet with the faculty or whatever. Like, and that's where you can ask about how the classes are and stuff like that.
Would say front row seats are taken.
Yeah.
How's your name?
It's good. It's okay.
You like that living room? Next time, bro.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Thanks. Thank you so much for joining us for today's behind the scenes tour and spending your Sunday with us. We're super excited to have you here. Just a couple of quick housekeeping notes just for your guys' convenience. If at any point you need to get up and leave, there are doors in the back and to your right. Additionally, if you need the restrooms, they are out those side doors as well on your right-hand side, either on the right around in the right-hand corner, on the left-hand corner. And lastly, if you need anything at all, please feel free to find someone in a black polo. We'd be more than happy to
If you need to
assist
sit down,
you.
let me know.
And then after you're done with some graduates here, those back doors are going to open to our info fair, where you will get to meet some people from admissions, housing, financial aid, and there's food. And there's flaming donuts, and that's really the best part. So enjoy, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You okay?
Tripping in the world could be dangerous. Everybody circling this vulture race. Negative, nepotist. Everybody waiting for the fall of man. Everybody praying for the end of times. Everybody hoping they could be the one. I was born to run, I was born for this.
Oh, you will.
To me, this is my red carpet. I don't need that big shit.
Welcome to the Full Sail University Orlando Health Fortress. You're looking at the largest esports arena on any college campus in the nation. With over 400 LED tiles, more than 10 million pixels, 2 independent sound systems, and an incredible pair of audio and video control rooms, the Fortress is at the forefront of event production technology. Not only does the Fortress actively support Full Sail's collegiate esports team Armada, but it also serves as an expansive space to host collegiate esports championships, professional gaming events, and more. With over 20 years of experience in game development and scores of grads working in the gaming industry on some of the biggest titles, Full Sail has leveled up in the competitive world of collegiate esports. We'll see you at the next Fortress event.
Please welcome to the stage, Bethany Williams, Alumni Relations Representative. Hi, everyone. Are you having a good day so far? Yeah? All right, great. Well, I'm Bethany. I manage the Alumni Advising Team in Career Development here at Full Sail University. I'm really excited to be here today to introduce you to some cool grads who have volunteered their time this weekend to chat with all of you about what it's like to actually work in these industries. But before I bring out our guests, I do want to touch just briefly on the reason why you're all here today, I'm sure. And that's because you're starting to explore your own career path, right? You're starting to think about what's really speaking to you in here and trying to figure out the best way to pursue that career. Well, here at Full Sail, we have a unique approach to career development that we're really proud of. Throughout your time with us, woven right into your curriculum are elements of professional development and career readiness. You're going to learn critical components of a job search. These are things like crafting your own personal brand, which is so important these days, to, of course, resume writing, right? You're gonna learn how to do career research. Where are these jobs? Where are they located? What are the job titles? What skills are needed? You will, of course, practice networking, those all-important relationship building skills. And for many degree programs, you'll walk out of here with a portfolio. But in addition to all that career readiness and professional development, you have access to a team of career development professionals. Over 80 of us are here in the career development department, and some have worked in the industries you're aspiring to join. Me, for example, I spent the first 15 years of my career in New York City. For 14 of those years, I was on staff at a late night TV show before I came down here to Full Sail and relocated. My story is not unique. My career development family, we are divided onto 3 teams. So we've got our industry outreach representatives. Their full-time job is to go out into these industries we serve and identify employment or internship opportunities that are a good match for our students and our graduates. Next, we have our graduate services teams. Their mission is to make sure our students and our graduates feel prepped and ready to pursue those employers and opportunities. And then finally, we've got the alumni division. Our alumni relations team partners with our global network of Full Sail alumni, now totaling over 100,000 Full Sail graduates. And our grads are really passionate about giving back to our students in our school. Now, there's no time frame on our services in career development. So of course, when you're a student, we really invite you to reach out. Come take advantage of this department. Utilize our resources, from workshops to panels to our open door office hours on Wednesdays. But even afterwards, after you graduate, we encourage you to come back and and reach out 5, 10, 25 years down the line, you're looking to pivot and make a change, you can pick up the phone and give us a call, and we're gonna be there to support you at that point as well, which I think is cool. Full Sail and career development work really hard to maintain and develop relationships with some of the top companies across the entertainment, media, and emerging technology spaces. We've got grads at Disney and Sony and Warner Music, Live Nation, EA Sports, NBC Universal, and that is just to name a few. All throughout the year, we host career events with employers as well. We do virtual events to accommodate our online students and our grads who moved away from Central Florida, but we also do events right here on campus throughout the year at various points. Just last week, we had one kicking off our Hall of Fame week. These career day events are so much fun. I'd like to give you a little glimpse into what it feels like to attend, so I want to throw to a quick video, have you meet some of our grads, some of our employers, and I'll see you on the other side. Take a look.
Full Sail's Career Development Department is dedicated to assisting our graduates in pursuing their career goals. We host employers and alumni at career fairs throughout the country and on our campus, and continue to make extraordinary efforts to connect graduates with employers.
We know that Full Sail has an incredible academic program where they get a lot of hands-on experience. The two of us share that common interest and passion towards the entertainment industry.
They really seem to understand the space really quickly, and so they're able to just jump in and get right to it. We would love to have a studio full of Full Sail grads.
When we see that someone's from Full Sail, I mean, we almost hire them on the spot.
They have a desire to learn additionally to what the job is itself. They perform very well at the job when they're working.
For me, what makes the Full Sail employees uniquely qualified is that I can take them from an event like this and bring them on set or into post-production or casting or corporate, and they know exactly what to do.
We do look for a combination of that experience in the classroom, but then also in industry as well. But we feel like Full Sail, because they have it in the classroom, that's immeasurable.
Full Sail taught me how to talk to people, made me meet new people. The career development helped me get my first internship on a feature film. You know, you gotta start from somewhere. I couldn't say no to a feature fresh out of college. Who gets that? Not everybody does.
The career development team that has always been there whenever I was looking at job leads and needed recommendations. It always felt personal, like it was a personal connection. It wasn't just like, oh, you're a student, you graduated, that's it. It actually felt like they really did care.
They just got the ball rolling off the bat, like 6 months out. And I had the job offer months before I was even graduated.
I definitely give thanks to my career advisor and Full Sail for helping me along the way with gaining that position.
I got my job because of someone that I met here in one of these panels. That's part of what I love about Full Sail, is that we all get to come back and then maybe help other people like other people helped us.
I would have not been able to speak the language of the business had I not gone to Full Sail and gotten that tutelage. I knew that this is what I wanted to do, but how I went about that was all Full Sail.
We love our grads. And what I'm noticing now that Full Sail's been around for over 40 years, we're seeing more and more of them returning to us in the role of employer, which is a very cool full circle moment for sure. I also would be remiss not to note that we have many grads who are very happily employed supporting other industries. So not just entertainment, we also have grads using these skills to support, careers in education, military, government, legal, your local nonprofit, your small boutique agency, or your Fortune 500. There are just so many opportunities to use these skills. We have grads at Chewy, at the CIA, Caterpillar, Goldman Sachs, and again, these are just to name a few. We are getting ready to bring out our guests. I do want to give you a glimpse into what they've been doing here. So they're not paid to be here. They are donating their time, to be here this weekend. They have volunteered to do this, and they're just here to really talk to you honestly about what it's like to work in these industries. And we brought them in on Friday. They came to campus. We did a panel for students and for grads. That was so much fun. This is the kind of thing, if you are a student, we do this every month, so you have to take advantage of these amazing opportunities to connect with these industry pros, all right? All right, so without further ado, let's get him out here, okay? Our first guest has done design work for Adobe, Big Eye, Connect, and now brings that same creativity to Sonny's Barbecue as their creative manager, overseeing design across over 80 franchise locations. For the past 9 years there, she's led a team of designers, agency partners, and production crews to make sure every campaign, menu, and piece of branded content stays true to the brand story. Please welcome 2016 Digital Arts and Design graduate, Daniela Sara. Our next guest is a Grammy-winning audio engineer, supervising sound editor, and re-recording mixer with credits on over 300 projects, including Emily in Paris, Dexter Resurrection, Dexter Original Sin, Younger, Ray Donovan, First Wives Club, and A Complete Unknown. He's also become the go-to mixer for some of the industry's most prominent comedians, having mixed Mike Birbiglia, The Old Man in the Pool, and the Grammy-nominated Sarah Silverman, Someone You Love. He currently serves as supervising sound editor and re-recording mixer at Parabolic. Please welcome 2014 Recording Arts graduate, Vinny Alfano. Our next guest is a film and television writer and producer with over 15 years of experience. Her modern digital age love story, R#J, premiered at both Sundance and South by Southwest, and her credits span Hallmark, Lifetime, UpTV, and Peacock, with titles like Head Over Heels, Wedding in the Hamptons, and Mistletoe Secret. Her latest film, Written in the Sand, is now streaming on Amazon Prime. Please welcome 1998 film graduate, Ricky Castaneda. Not least, he's an experienced executive producer with over 15 years in game development. Having produced more than a dozen shipped and live service titles, his career spans teams of all sizes, from startups to major publishers, including Magic Leap, Ghost Punch Games, Blizzard, EA, and 2K, on titles like Risk of Rain 2, Allotted Collective, Silent Hill 2, and Madden NHL. Today, he oversees studio operations as the studio head and executive producer at Sideco Dev. Please welcome 2008 Game Development and 2011 Game Masters graduate, Michael Johnstone. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you again for being here. It's been so fun to get to hang out with you today and hear about your careers. Show of hands, who attended a BTS back in the day? All of you, okay. Ricky, do you remember back then? What were you feeling when you were sitting in those chairs? What do you know now that you wish you knew then?
I was really praying my mom would see what I saw. We had a much smaller scale back then, but I had gone and done a tour on my own, and then they invited my mom up there because she was the one who was hard to convince, the school teacher, very traditional. And yeah, so she was just as amazed as I was, and I think she saw my enthusiasm and knew my drive and knew that this was the right place, because it really just, I felt like I came alive here. Like, it restored my soul. I went a day at UCF and I was like, this is terrible.
Vinny, were you a musical kid? When did you know you wanted to study audio or recording arts, and was your family supportive of that non-traditional choice?
I was very lucky that they were supportive, even though they didn't quite understand it. I'm still not sure they quite understand it. But yeah, I started playing guitar when I was younger, and was doing a lot of in studio work, doing a lot of live work. And then my parents you gotta go to college, you have to get a degree. And then I found Full Sail, and the environment that they were kind of fostering and telling us about on the BTS store just seemed like something I was like, oh, this is going to be a really good fit, and it was.
All right, great. Mike, how did Full Sail and your education here prepare you for the game industry?
Thank you. Hi. I'm Mike. Let's see. Full Sail has a very collaborative nature, right? So you're going to be able to work with all the other games, all the other disciplines. Like when you're in games, you'll get an opportunity to. I think there's choices in like which tracks you pick nowadays, depending on which degree. But you'll be intermingling with both through your classwork and also through just socializing and being exposed to all of these other folks from all around the country and the world who also want to make video games with you. But you're all doing something a little bit different. That's a micro. It's like a little tiny example of what you can get when you finally get in the rest of the industry. That and our capstone projects, which are really great, where you actually make a video game by the end of it, right? If you've never made one and never before, you learn all the parts of making a video game. For me, that was my favorite part of it. I did actually fail one of those when I went through, and I had to retake it. So actually, I went through 2.5 times, because in the masters you get to do it again. So when I went back. But when I went back in my master's, I really knew exactly what I was doing, and I was really proud of what we made. But that's what I love about making games, is every single time you do it, you get better at it. And it starts at Full Sail when you open that door and you start to get the types of education, the types of socializing with others who are like-minded with you, that you create relationships for your whole career.
Daniela, tell us about when you found Full Sail. Did you always want to be a designer? And how confident were you in your art skills when you first enrolled?
I always knew I wanted to do something in creativity and art. I just wasn't sure what it was. I wanted to be at a place where I could express my creative skills somehow. And when I came to Full Sail, actually a BTS tour, it was where it clicked for me. I just knew this was the space for me to learn and to put my creativity to good use. I picked the digital arts and design program because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I just knew that it was in creativity and art. And the digital arts and design program offers everything from the web, film, and I learned all of it. And by the end of it, I just kind of knew this was the path I wanted to take, and it was pretty surreal.
Great. Vinny, talk to us about your time on campus. Were you a good student? What do you think contributed to your success?
Yeah, I was a pretty good student. Time on campus is interesting because you can have class at 1 p.m. in the day or 1 a.m. at night. So it's part of the real world simulation of the education program here. It really does translate over into the industry where, later on I was working in studios until 5 o'clock in the morning. So it was kind of good prep work being here on campus and experiencing that, and then being ready for it later on in life.
What about your time on campus, Ricky? I mean, was there a course or a skill that you learned that you're still thinking about and using in your career today?
I think learning, we were so collaborative. We were like a little film crew moving through every single class, because we ended up doing like a 35mm, a 60mm film, and then a 35mm film. So working with like the same team and kind of knowing their, getting their rhythm and knowing what they want, what they're capable of, and problem solving. We were doing everything from casting to set building. And I think that really helped me in writing, because I knew the production side of it, so I could connect with the director. When, as a writer, you mostly work with the director more so than anybody else, the producers and the director, but that helped translate, because I could have a director say, listen, we don't have a beach scene, we gotta do this somewhere else. Can we collab, how do we do that? And I think knowing how lighting works, knowing how set building works, knowing what they're capable of, helped me be able to write down a scale size and apply that into the story without losing the story, which is a true, they will flip over that, they love that. And that has definitely been I think a huge plus for me.
Michael, the students in your, either degree, both degrees, who did they share certain, traits or skills in terms of the people that were the most successful? Like, what advice do you have for people just starting on how to really do well here?
Good question. If you're gonna go all the way out here to Full Sail and do this for real, please take it extremely seriously. Don't waste your opportunity. You'll be surprised how many friends that I remember that did not take it seriously and didn't show up for a class. Maybe that's okay at some other college, right? But here at Full Sail, you can't miss time. You need to be be there every day learning whatever that next topic is. It's an intense amount of information all crammed in to just 30-day classes, right? And what happens if you fail one of those classes? You might have to add another month to your stay, right? You need to be real serious about this.
Exactly.
So the students that took it most seriously took every opportunity. The fact that developers like myself or the friends up here right now would be here every single month, an opportunity for you to meet them and build your real network while you're still here. If you're doing a 21-month program, that's 21 times you could be meeting people and mingling with them and networking before you get out, versus another college where maybe not at all, right? So those things are really important. So those qualities of like the aggressiveness. Do you really want this? Because if you're not going to be like me and go and do outside extracurriculars and make your own club and then prove that you can get pro bono work from a real company on that to put on your resume all before you graduate. If you're not going to do that, I am. Or there's another student who is going to do that, who's in this room right now, right? And so while it is competitive that way, there is an awesome camaraderie that you build here at Full Sail as well that lasts your whole career. But we all expect the best from each other, right?
Daniela, I want to hear about when you first started here at Full Sail and hear a little bit about your best advice on how students can deal with the pressure of being here at Full Sail.
Yeah, when I was at Full Sail, first and foremost, I'm from Colombia, so I didn't even know English. I was learning a new language. I was getting adjusted to a new culture. I was trying to fit in. If I could give you one advice, just take the time to get to know each other and like your fellow classmates. To this day, I still keep in touch with my classmates. I work with a lot of them. A lot of my portfolio pieces were held by other students in the film program, in the sound recording arts. Like, we help each other because we all want to succeed, you know? And the collaboration and the projects that come out of it is actually really precious. So if I could give you one piece of advice, is that connect, network, talk to your fellow classmates and get to know them, because they're also going through something that you have no idea what they're going through.
Networking is so important, right? We talk about it a lot around here. So again, show of hands, how many people in their career have ever worked with another Full Sailer?
That's all I hire.
We've hired them.
Yes. All right, so it is important, you never know, right? So let's talk a little bit about that culture on campus. Danielle, I'm gonna start with you. Like, why are you here today? Why does this mean so much to you to give back?
I just think Full Sail is such a special place. Again, it was like my home away from home. A place where I grew. I took all the skills and I implemented them in my career. I knew I wanted to do art, and here they really took that seriously. I'm still very passionate about what I do, and it feels like I never work every day. It's something that I enjoy and I do with graphic design. So it's so important that the culture that we share here is so special that I want to give back. I want to talk to the future Full Sailors. You might be thinking about joining the school. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, it might be intimidating talking to us, but believe me, like, we've been in your shoes, we've been there. We were questioning if this was the right move, and I can solely say that I did choose a great school, and it's a great place to be.
All right, well, thank you for that. Vinny, can you explain a little bit about like what your day-to-day is? Tell us exactly what you do now.
Yeah. So let's say we are all in a movie or a TV show right now, and we're all talking to each other, and maybe there's some music in the background, and maybe there's like part of the crowd is cheering, and maybe a fire truck drives by outside. So I put in all of the sounds and music in the TV shows and movies after they film it. So 90% of what you're hearing whenever you're watching Netflix or Hulu or any of those streaming services is fake, and it's done by a post-production team. And that's what we do on a technical and creative basis. And then the day-to-day, for me, it's interesting because a lot of times they'll say, hey, here's what the to-do list is, and we can just run with that, and I'll get to create my own schedule. And sometimes I'll start work at 7 o'clock in the morning and then leave around like 4, or sometimes I'll go in later and start around 11 a.m. and then leave at 9, or disappear in the middle of the day if I have to take a lunch or go to coffee or meetings. So there's a nice flexibility that comes with being able to hand a project and then say, this is how I'm going to manage my time and this is how we're going to get it done.
So how did you get into this type of work?
I was in the music industry for a few years, right after I got out of Full Sail, and while I was in the music industry, I started getting asked to do music for commercials, and slowly pivoted towards doing commercials, not thinking anything of it. It's just kind of happenstance. And then as I was mixing commercial or writing music for commercials, they would say, hey, can you also mix and can you also do the sound editing? And you kind of fake it till you make it a little bit. And I was like, sure, because they don't know how to do it and I might know how to do it, but I'm gonna figure out how to do it. And then I was doing commercials and advertising for a few years, and a lot of the directors that I was working with would come to me after the commercials and be like, hey, we have a TV pilot or a short film or we're working on a feature, can you do the sound for this? And again, it was my first time, and I said yes and figure it out in the shadows, and then eventually just kind of snowballed and spiraled.
There's a lot of figuring it out. I'm seeing all your heads nod, right? So Ricky, talk to us about how you write Christmas movies for Hallmark. I love your job. I want to hear all about it. But you didn't start there. So tell us, how you started and how you kind of segued into the amazing career that you have now.
When I moved out to LA, the only job I could get was as an extra on set, basically. I was a background artist. So that's how I kind of broke into the sets and got to go on all the studios, and it was pretty cool doing that. And then, but I wanted to actually be working on the set, not just like a moving prop. And so then I got into production assistant, and then got into the office side of things, where I was a reader, which is one of the most valuable things I did, was reading a lot of bad scripts every day. You learn more from that sometimes. And then some friends and I, we decided to produce a really low budget, terrible horror film. And we shot that, and it's probably at your local truck stop somewhere in Texas. And on that shoot, I had a producer that I had met through networking, and I asked her if he could come and she could be like the mentor on the set. And she did, and then afterwards she got a job at a production company, and I said, you know what, I really think I just want to be a writer, I just want to focus on it. And she liked some of my writing. I gave her samples. I was always working on scripts. And she said, well, you can just kind of be my assistant if you want to, like an internship assistant. And I just did that for about 2 years, wrote log lines, wrote synopsis. And then one day they said, there's this little network called Hallmark, and we have a movie called Mistletoe Over Miami. We need to set it in Manhattan. Can you do it? And I just said yes. And next thing I know, I had 3 movies on Hallmark at the end of the year. Because one went to the next one. Because if they like you, they keep calling you. That's how it works. So,
thank you for sharing that. Michael, so I want to hear, your first job in the game industry was not your dream role, right? But talk to us about how you got started and then how you segued into being a studio head.
Sure, thanks. Originally I did the undergrad game design and development, so it's from 2006 to 2008. I graduated at the end of 2008. Other things happened that year, you may remember, financial crisis. So when I got out,